Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com. Email your questions and comments to Lynn at pghcitypaper.com.
Hey! Hello, welcome. Where's my mic? Here it is.
Right in front of you, darling.
Yeah, almost. Okay. Here you go. Hi, how you doing? It's Thursday. I know it's Thursday because Sokolowski's sitting here on my left.
Yes.
How do you do?
I'm fine, and you?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Looking good. Svelte
Thank
as
you.
hell.
Oh, svelte as hell. Maybe that's a new T-shirt.
You know, you've made me. I've looked at your shrinking self, and I thought I got to do the same. So I'm down almost.
Have an operation.
No, I'm down 10 pounds.
Good for you.
Yes. 10 more
How?
to go, and
For what? I mean, like dieting or exercise or a combination
it's
of
the
both?
classic calories in, calories out. That's all. It's logging what I'm eating and then also logging my cardiovascular so I can subtract calories and I can also add calories. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay. So
You
I
wear
have
one of
this
these
app.
monitors?
No.
Oh.
I have an app.
Okay.
And in order for me to lose weight, it's limiting me to 1,300 calories a
Okay.
day. Okay. So everything I ingest, I load into the thing, so it
Okay.
keeps count. Okay.
So one half
and
of a
sometimes you're
Mars
just sort of
bar or
saying,
whatever.
well, I'm not sure, but a little.
6 peanuts.
Yeah, whatever. But you sort of.
Yeah.
Now let's say I walk on a treadmill for 30 minutes at a
okay.
quick pace. Well, I'm told that's. Whatever.
That gets rid of the Mars bar.
150 calories, right?
I
So I
see.
put that in, and I get those subtracted, and I back
I
up
see.
a little bit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I've just been doing that, and the weight comes off. It really is calories in, calories
no,
out.
it's
It's
true.
all there is to it. And the neat thing about doing it that way is if you have a hankering for a cheeseburger and fries, go for it. You'll know exactly. Put it in,
Yeah, right.
and then that might be all you're going to eat that day, or
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna whatever. I know people hate listening to this kind of crap. And do you have an opinion about Gwyneth Paltrow?
Not really.
Okay, I do, and I don't know.
Well, tell us, Lynn. What is your
I
opinion?
mean, it's
on-
not like I really know her a bit. I mean, I only can think of one movie I ever saw her in. Does she even make movies anymore?
Well, she's been on TV because I'm a fan of this show, Glee.
Oh, yeah, she's a recurring
And she's
thing.
been,
Okay,
she was
right.
just on
Right.
Tuesday, I think.
Right. But I mean, I've only know her from, I think she got an Academy Award for it, didn't she? For Shakespeare in Love?
Maybe, I don't know.
She's awful.
Jess hates her.
Jess is not a fan.
So
She's
I don't know what it
making
is
a
about her.
sour
So
face.
anyway, I've just never liked her.
You haven't liked
There's
her.
something about every time I've read something she said, it makes me think, shut up.
You know,
I mean,
she is. She's sort of like in my opinion, when you said that, it clicked something. She's like a female James Franco who thinks she can do anything.
Oh, the sort of sophisticated new.
Well, no,
Eastern-
but just like
no.
she's a polymorph.
Well, that's
polymath.
true. She's blogging here. She's
And
telling
she
you how
did
to
a
eat
cookbook
there.
with
She's
Mario
doing right.
Batali
That's
and-
right. She's just sort of all over the place, and of course, married to a rock star, which is,
Oh, she is.
the thing. With
No, but isn't
Coldplay.
she breaking off? I
Yes,
saw
she
that. Oh,
is. So that brings up the
That's
latest.
why you're.
I also don't like her because her stupid mother is the voice of UPMC. You know that? Gwyneth Paltrow's mother is Blythe
Danner, yes.
And Blythe Danner is the one whose voice
Oh, how
is in our
interesting.
heads all the time.
I was once on a panel with her twice because she was, I don't know how, but she was on the Heinz Family Foundation panels, and she was really quite nice and wasn't
Was
at
she?
all movie star-ish.
Okay, well, that's quite possible. But she has...
She has a shit of a daughter.
She has gotten in bed with the devil here, and, her daughter's a pain in the ass. And she's too skinny, too. She's one of those
very
too
thin, yes.
skinny people. She looks unhealthy. Anyway, she and her husband have announced that they are, in fact, divorcing. Although they did not use that term.
But amiable. Oh, yes, that's right. That was a consciously
She has said,
uncoupled.
and they put out a press release saying that they have they're going to consciously uncouple.
I don't get trained.
Okay, right. But you tell me, do you like somebody who all of a sudden comes out, we will consciously uncouple, and we ask for your, respect
of
to
our
our privacy. Well, then just shut the F up!
Well, if you're a star and you're aware and enjoy your public persona, you're not going to.
So anyway, apparently a lot of people can't stand her because all over the internet now, people are coming up with different ways of defining their relationship. And
getting off those.
right, consciously uncoupling. And there was even a thing that I just did today where I put my name in, I put my status, I put divorced in. I thought that might be more interesting, and it's true. And I was told that my source, they aren't going to let it go. What was it? I was meditatively liberated.
I see.
That's what rather than divorced. No, I meditatively
now, can you use
liberated
divorce?
myself.
I know you were divorced, but you were divorced a long time ago.
Yeah, so when you get those things, and it says marital status, I always put single.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I could put divorced.
Yeah. But
and I also could put it's none of your damn business,
true.
right?
But don't you think, when you think of divorce, it's usually like within the past 2-3 years.
But why? And then 4 years later, you're not divorced
Well,
anymore?
but...
I mean, you're not divorced if you've remarried. Or do you all of a sudden become single? You're just
Well, because of the point of if it's been quite a while, as I understand it.
I don't know what they want to know it for.
Oh, it's just, what do you call it? Demographics.
I don't know. And for some reason, the eagle won't come up here. Those eagles, I'm telling you, if you've never gone to that side, it is fascinating. When's the last time you saw how bald eagles get ready for their eggs hatching? Because I've been watching these guys for weeks.
Okay.
And it gets pretty boring.
Where is
admittedly.
the nest?
It's sort of around. It's over on the south side, but on the river.
Oh. Okay.
It's on the river. It's on the Mon.
Okay.
And I think it sort of overlooks the Birmingham Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's around in there
Is it
somewhere.
in a tree or is it in
Of course
some
it's in
building?
a tree.
No. They have something on.
Those are the falcons are up in the buildings.
Yeah.
But this is in a tree.
Oh.
And I mean, simply being able to look closely at their nest. How do they build and how the hell do they do that? And an eagle's nest is as much as 10 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
That was like 10 feet. It's this huge construction. And what's so cute is then it's made of twigs, but then inside they've collected soft, like grasses and things.
Oh, yeah,
and and put it. And that's where the eggs are. And lately...
They don't need Louis Tolato or whatever his name is to interior decoration.
No, and the feng shui is just perfect.
Well,
Perfect.
if whites don't know about feng shui, who would?
So but to see them just in the last 36 hours, all of a sudden the behavior's changing.
Huh.
They are hyper vigilant.
Huh.
So where they used to
And they
like
both
just sit,
are there?
Oh, they're both there. Not at the same time often.
Oh, okay.
But they take turns.
Well, one
and
is
sometimes
foraging, I
they're
guess.
right, but some they're definitely more together now than I've seen.
Oh, I see.
And they're just like really, really hyper vigilant now, which I love because it's interesting watching.
Well, wasn't there something a week or two ago when
a raccoon?
Yeah.
That was a few weeks ago.
Oh.
And then they're cozying. It is so cute. They're like piling up the soft stuff a lot more, like really last night trying to keep their eggs and themselves as warm as possible. And they're getting up and looking at the eggs and then they're doing this weird thing. This weird thing that used to be when they roosted, but now even sort of on their side, it's almost like they're saying, I know you're ready, baby. Come on, come on. It's like they're urging them on. It's so fascinating. You're not interested in this.
Well, not with the same. I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to be.
No, I mean, I guess when they crack open, it'd be sort of fun, but.
No, I just think, wow.
Maybe you should be a midwife, Lynn Cullen.
No, I just.
Push. Now, do both, since you're such an expert, do both sit on the eggs or just
Yes,
the mother?
both do.
They both do. Okay.
Not at the same time.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But it's cute how they sort of make the exchange. Because one of them will all of a sudden appear in the nest, fly in, and will, do a little nuzzling, and will eventually sort of like get down next to the other one.
Now, do you see them bringing back worms and things?
Worms?
Well, I don't know what they eat.
I eat animals.
Oh, all right. Well,
Fish.
you see them bringing back a mackerel?
Bunnies. No, I haven't seen it yet, but once those little hatchlings are out, yeah.
But then they rip it into whatever.
I know, it's going to get, they warn us, it's going to get.
Bunnies. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to get live bunnies, their heads being ripped off. It'll get a little tough. But that's... All right, Tom's not interested in this, so I'm going to move on because he just looks unhappy.
No, I'm not unhappy. I'm just not particularly interested.
All right. I schlepped my computer in here thinking I had to watch in case they had, and it won't. The Wi-Fi in here sucks.
Oh, dear.
Are you saying, oh, dear, because I'm
a nutcase about this?
Can't help it.
Well, what? Maybe Margaret or someone will say, they've broken the first egg or whatever.
I scared the bejeebers out of my poor mother.
Oh, dear.
Last night.
Oh, was she watching?
Because I thought they were about to.
Oh, I see.
And I called her. I said, Mom, watch. Here's the website. www. And she said, oh, wait a minute. I said, you don't even have to do the W. Just get it in there. Blah, blah, blah. And she, pigs, P-I. Did you say P? Oh, no, and no, wait, oh, gosh, I have to start over. And I said, Mom, it's okay. Just take a deep breath. And then I'd scream. And then I'd scream something like, oh, my God, I think one of them's hatching. And she'd say, oh, I don't know what to. And I so freaked her out. It's so awful. And she never
got it?
I don't think so. I said, I'm so sorry. I'll leave you alone. I said, if you ever get on, call me. She didn't call, and I could tell she didn't want to. I don't even know if so whatever.
People in Wisconsin have their own forms of animal husbandry. She can just go out to the barn and watch a cow.
We don't have a barn.
Oh, well, I don't know.
We live in we even have telephones. And sounds like when I was a kid and I'd go to Chicago, it'd be amazing how people would say, when they knew I lived, do you have television? They'd act like we were from, like, the North Pole.
Do you yodel?
No. How do you yodel? That is really a rough thing to do. Okay, I give up. And I want to apologize to everybody, including Tom Sokolowski, for being so into this. But it does...
Well, it gets you into your nature.
Huh?
Your nature.
Yeah, and then I tweeted something too, like, oh my God, I tweeted this, and it was quite clear from the lack of retweets that the Twitter sphere, as they call it, is not inclined to watch eagles sitting on an egg.
That's true.
Because, they're all about immediacy.
Right, yes.
Right?
And Gwyneth Paltrow.
Right. And so...
From one chickadee to another.
I thought totally different mindset, Twitter and Eagle Cam. But I'm into both.
Good.
You see what a Renaissance woman I am?
Well, then you can name the eaglet.
No,
Your name is Gwyneth.
I'm one of the... We'll name the third one Gwyneth because that one's going down, right? That one's going to be eaten alive and or tossed summarily out. Even the parents won't feed it. It'll be fed the third. If there's any food left over, the third one has not a shot. If it makes it, it is the most extraordinary being in the world. I will be its... Come to think of it, I'm rooting for number 3.
Always root for the runt.
Always root for the runt. Hello, caller. Caller, hi.
No?
No? He's teasing us?
Yes.
Okay. So, also, still a little bit on animals. Forgive me.
All right. Well, we have a motif here, yes.
Yes, but I was freaked. Do you know what you're aware of what this Copenhagen Zoo has done now?
No. Oh, that's the one that shot the giraffe? And then
bolt the gun right through and then immediately cut it open, dissected it for all the little children who were there.
Oh, that was done in public? The dissection?
Oh, yeah.
It was
Oh, I didn't know
public.
that.
And then
They gave it to the
they
bears.
chopped it up and threw it into the lion's
Lions,
den.
that's right.
Well, guess what? Some of the lions that ate the giraffe,
Died.
they've now been killed by the
Ugh.
zoo. By the Copenhagen Zoo. They killed 4 of their lions.
I could hear Jenny Thomas
Caller?
singing Wunderbar,
Hey.
Wunderbar,
Hi.
Copenhagen.
Hi.
Morning, Lynn.
Hi, how are you?
Mr. Sokolowski.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hey, the audio on this sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it is clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey, about Eagle Camp.
Yeah.
George Vermoon here.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife is obsessed with this, too. And I've got to admit that it was very interesting to me. We've been watching it for weeks. So, Mr. Sokolowski,
Yes.
use your artistic perceptions and think into the wildlife realm and the beauty thereof.
Oh, no, I'm not against that. Just I
I
don't want
know.
to sit
Not just kidding.
watching it.
So George,
By the nanosecond.
George, did you note how yesterday and last evening it was a lot more activity? Huh?
You with the Eagles?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and with people watching. That what took place was, I've got your Twitter,
Yeah.
and I responded to it. And I'm the guy at Geo Hank. Maybe you picked it up every now and then.
Okay, all right.
That's me, and I responded a couple of times. The damn thing crashed is what happened. There were so many people watching
Wow.
these webcams that they all crashed last night.
Well, maybe it's still crashed. I can't
Yes,
get it.
it is. They're still trying to erect it, and I think it's become so popular that it just overwhelmed their servers.
Well,
Wow.
damn
And
it.
they're just getting back right now.
So it's crashing at the exact moment you want to see it.
Yes, yes,
Call
yeah, because
the
everybody was
president.
tuned to that 26 days.
Oh, my God. Well, now, when did they put the cameras in?
Well, as soon as they
Found the
located
nest.
the nest, then
I see.
a certain
Well,
group.
See, this is an outfit that it's a big cooperative venture with the Game Commission,
Oh,
the
I
City
see.
of Pittsburgh, some commercial enterprises.
Oh,
the
Verizon,
Audubon Society, I believe the Audubon
I think
Society.
the Pittsburgh Zoo, all kinds of
Yeah.
people are sharing this, which is great.
Yep.
And they got the technology, but they're connected with a group that does wildlife cams elsewhere. And so what they do is they show owls and they show the peregrine falcons.
Oh.
That's my wife yelling in the back.
What'd she say? Did something happen?
No. She's just saying that there's all kinds of animals out
Yeah,
there
okay.
that they're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's
and
fascinating.
It's great, and I think it's really caught people's interest, and it's expanded like crazy. And I think this, like I said, people have been tracking these eggs for the 26-day gestation,
Right.
and everybody tuned in at once, and the whole thing crashed.
And
Which
I
I thought
didn't-
was funny as hell.
And I didn't help by squawking on Twitter, probably.
Yeah,
I
because
might
then
have,
everybody
but-
else probably follows you jumped
Discombobulated.
on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it did not get erected the whole night then, and just I think popped up this morning a little bit, and it's running slow. So if you try to tune in, you might see a little bit, but then
Okay,
it'll
I'm not
stop
seeing
and then it'll go
anything.
slow.
Okay.
Now, you said
But
Well,
the
thank you.
comment side, on the right side.
You know what?
of
The comment
webpage,
side, it's like whoever's commenting, I think they seem to be, how do I say this? Intellectually or emotionally challenged.
Yeah, there's a lot of screwballs. Let's use
I
that
don't
word,
even
okay?
think they're screwballs. They're just sort of infantile.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
she
Now,
looks
there
so
are some good
cutie
comments that
woody.
changes
Somebody, I mean, they're
in the
typing in.
evening.
Oh,
I
look
think
how
you get a better
cutie
quality of-
woody woodies. And I'm thinking, shut the F up! These magnificent beasts, and you're calling them cute? Wait till they
Yeah,
rip
yeah,
a rabbit's head off right in front of your screen. Jeez.
But
You
I
cutie
think
woody.
these folks latched into something that they never knew was going to be so popular.
Yeah.
And I think there are tons of people that I'm hearing, and I saw from the comments, people turn these webcams on and just leave them on all day
Yes.
at work and everywhere
Yeah,
else, and they're
right.
watching these eagles
Well, look how popular that
and these
show.
falcons.
nature has been, and it's all about this sort of thing.
Well, because it gives you a 50-yard line view to an event that you never, ever could see.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
you
also
see raccoons on there. You see owls. You see turkeys. You can pick your animal to watch, and that's at nighttime also because they have infrared cameras.
Right,
on.
you can watch them at night too.
And they've got audio too.
Yeah,
and it's live. It's real
it's
time.
live,
well, I
real.
think part of it, as
So it's hey, Mr. Sokolowski, tune in sometime just for the hell of it and get a view of it. I think you will.
Maybe
be a
I'll get
fascinated
suckered in. Who knows? Well, I think part of it is, and I have had my moments with nature and those things. We're so far removed in this urban society, even Pittsburgh, from anything like that, and just to see these animals. But I think it's interesting when Lynn was mentioning that, yes, they're being very attentive, but then they're going to bring a bunny and rip its, neck out. That's what they do.
Well, and that's
that's
talk about
but that's it's a true reality. Hey, George, thank you. Appreciate it.
Good talking.
Okay, bye-bye.
But go back to enough with the Eagles. Go back to the zoo in Copenhagen.
Unbelievable. So the zoo in
because they got when they killed
Listen to this
there was
now.
a lot of international outrage.
Yes.
About the giraffe.
You see what impact the international outrage had on them because they have now killed 2 lions, a male and a female, 14 and 16 years old, and their 2 cubs. They wiped out an entire lion family, and this on the grounds of, this is from the New York Times, on the grounds of genetic purity and conservation.
Well, that was
because they want to bring a new lion. They're bringing a new lion in, and so they wipe out all the old. There's not something else they could do.
Well, they could have sent them to Dayton.
They could,
or
it's just unbelievable.
I'm sure there are zoos that don't have.
No, they say this is a real cultural difference between European zoos and American zoos, and the Europeans are much more into just knocking off these animals in the name of conservation or ensuring genetic diversity or keeping things pure. And I'm thinking, I know the Europeans do that, but don't they?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But they could make money. I mean, like the Dayton Zoo, and I wasn't kidding, which I don't even know if it has a zoo, but if it does, it can't be a great one. They would love to have a lion and lioness and little lions.
Right.
I mean, and why not make some money and spread the wealth? No, because the thing was with the giraffe, it was the point that there would be inbreeding because I guess there were so many giraffes and they all were from the same family or something.
Wait. Okay,
she's
never
looking
mind.
at that stupid eagle thing.
No, I'm sorry because somebody sent me another thing and it too does not seem to be coming up, but it also was showing an eagle feeding an eaglet, which can't be our Hayes. They're in
this is Uncle Bill from Tanzania.
Well, I know that here it is. That is them. I recognize these guys. Okay. All right. Thank you. Somebody sent me a link that got me right in. So I mean, they cannot move for a long time, and that gets not interesting. But
but something that George said. So the gestation period is only 26 days.
26 or 28 days.
Wow.
Was that it? Or they just said, now see, this is okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so yes. So, the Copenhagen Zoo says it was simply putting common sense above sentimentality when they killed the 4 lions. 2 cubs! And their parents.
Who they feed them to.
Yeah, you know what? Don't think I didn't wonder. Because they said these are the lions that ate the giraffe. It's all very neat there at the Copenhagen Zoo. Apparently, American zoos will use contraceptive methods. So if you have if you have a new male lion coming in and you have some old male lion and you don't want the old male screwing up whatever designs you have for a new lion.
For mating.
You simply use, maybe give him a vasectomy. And the Europeans would just as soon put a bullet through his head.
Well, especially when we know that all of these species in the wild are being depleted.
It drives me insane. And apparently now in Denmark, which has always enjoyed an international reputation as a very civilized country.
What would Hans Christian Andersen say?
Exactly. Exactly.
Or the Little Mermaid. She might have been mightily pissed off.
I mean, it's beyond belief. And so, I guess there are people in Copenhagen who are now saying, we got to stop this.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting also is, I'm sure, especially in the winter, they could sort of do all this covertly, and hence that doesn't make it any better, but I mean, at least not get all the hue and cry, but obviously they feel so secure in their position.
Well, a leading Danish newspaper said now when people in the world say, oh, you're from Denmark, they follow that with, oh, the giraffe killers. But really, what is a zoo
that might
for?
Be a t-shirt.
I mean, my whole sense of a zoo is preservation.
Yeah, right.
Do you take an animal in and then you kill them?
Yeah, right.
What kind of insanity is that?
I can just see, visit Copenhagen, and you have a giraffe hanging from a noose. That would be a really, it would get you right, make the point, right there. Well, then they found, did you see, since you like this sort of thing, did you see there was something on Google or whatever of a man who was dying, and he had always been a great lover of animals, so they did through one of those like Make-A-Wish kind of things, they brought him to the zoo, and this
I did see that, and the giraffe kissed him. No, the giraffe knew him. He had worked at the zoo.
I guess, well, that was...
Hello, caller.
Hello, Lynn.
Yes.
This is totally apropos of nothing. But I wanted to tell you that I had an incident happen when we were on vacation, and I wanted to tell you about it. It's texting while driving.
Yes.
My wife and I were on a cruise in Tahiti. We just got back 2 days ago.
Wow.
And the ships can't get into the docks a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So you take what they call a tender. It's a lifeboat. They put about 100 people on it, and you take a 10 or 15-minute boat ride into the dock. So I'm sitting beside the coxswain or the boatswain who is driving this large lifeboat. And we're bouncing along. We're going into, I think we were going into Bora Bora. And I looked up, and this guy's got these guys staring at his lap. And I realized he was texting.
Texting while driving?
Texting while driving, yes. We're in the middle of the harbor of Bora Bora, and this guy's texting while driving. Now, there were no other boats around, so I guess it was safe. But
he was watching the
I'm going to call in and tell her. Well, this is the most unique texting while driving experience I've ever had.
Really.
And you survived it.
Yes,
oh, yes. Right. Oh, we had a fantastic time. Fantastic time. This was our second cruise in Tahiti.
Huh.
And we came into the Pittsburgh airport, and we're walking. Actually, we're waiting for the shuttle to pick us up, and my wife said, we have our bags. We could go back and buy tickets and go back.
I have a friend who just was in that neck of the woods, too, and, was raving about it. Well, good for you for venturing out like that and surviving a texting while driving in the Bora Bora Harbor. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, you take care.
All right, bye, and welcome home. Welcome home. Margaret's wondering if the curator of the Copenhagen Zoo is named Hitler. And PJ writes, if you're mad at the zoo in Copenhagen, it is appropriate that you refer to the city as Copenhagen. Well, I just did. Copenhagen rather than Copenhagen. The Danes don't like the pronunciation Hagen. It is the way Germans pronounce the city's name, and they don't like the Germans. So I'm surprised that the Danes say Copenhagen. They do? I'm surprised at that.
I've always heard Copenhagen, but...
Copenhagen. All right, whatever. If they don't like Copenhagen, that's what I'll say then, because I am mad at them, really mad at them. And I don't like the Germans either. We're taking a break.
But she loves those Eagles.
I do.
Stick around for more with Lynn Cullen Live after this.
BergBargains.com is your best bet for great deals in the Berg. Log on today for exclusive bargains from your favorite local restaurants like Blue Line Grill, Dell's, Ibiza, and Verde. Plus, discounts on tickets to Dan St. Germain at the Improv. BergBargains.com, Pittsburgh's best bargains. BergBargains.com.
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet?
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Have a question or an opinion? Call Lynn Cullen at 412-316-3381 or email lynn@pghcitypaper.com. Now, more with Lynn Cullen Live.
All righty. Well, since we have Mr. Sokolowski here, we now want to get into some artistic kinds of thing rather than naturalistic.
Paintings of eagles.
Paintings of eagles. So I wonder... we did bring up the subject of this reclusive 80-some-year-old German, speaking of Germans, who was found in his apartment to have, like, what was it, over 1,000?
Yeah, it was a huge number.
1,000 of these looted Nazi art works from World War II, because his father had been, I guess, the go-to guy for the Nazis on keeping these works. He was an art dealer. And the old guy now is apparently not in good health. He had surgery. He's not been bouncing back from it. Anyway, his lawyers have now said that he intends to start giving back the works. He had initially said no, and German law, this is the part that freaked me out. German law sided with him, that he did not have to. But somebody got to him, maybe his own conscience, whatever. He's finishing up some kind of deal where the first one that's going back is a Matisse, seated woman in armchair. And the people that it was stolen from, the Rosenberg family of France, when they immediately, that's our painting. It was my dad's painting, SOBs. And so anyway, they're going to get that one back. And the attorney said that the guy has given his lawyers free rein to return all of the paintings that belong to Jews to them or to their descendants. Invariably, it's to their descendants because they're gone. Now, when they first saw what he had in his apartment, it was mind-boggling. But it now turns out that he had a little place, another home in Salzburg, Austria, and they went there. And this is what's weird. They initially found 60 more pieces. And then 2 more trips to the house turned up 178 works. I don't know where they were. And among those are works by Monet, Manet, Renoir, Cézanne. It is the... what do they call that? The canon of... unbelievable. And many of them in not good condition because they were kept... They were just thrown in this house in Austria that had become dilapidated, that he hadn't been to. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so I guess the good news is that at least there is now an effort to put those paintings back to the people who lawfully acquired them and from whom they were stolen. Yeah. Those fucking Nazis. Jesus, what vile beings. Okay, so...
That's such efficient vile beings.
They're just the worst. I mean... the cold efficiency of their evil makes it all the more unforgivable.
Well, that's it. You can understand evil when it's Brobdingnagian.
Sort of raw and yeah,
just,
right.
Anger, whatever.
Right.
But when it's just so
efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the fact he was going to do that museum. I guess it was going to be in Berlin, which was going to be the museum of a dead race. So kill all the Jews and then make a museum about them.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that something?
With everything from a Kiddush cup to,
Well, here we got another texting while driving story coming in from Mike in Philly. My wife and I went to Cairo and left 1 week before the revolution started. Whoa, woo! Anyway, at night, Egyptian drivers do not use headlights.
Oh, lovely.
We thought it was an energy-saving technique or something else. We finally asked our friend, and here was the answer. Egyptians feel that if you drive with no lights and then flash your lights at other motorists, you will become more visible and make the other driver more aware.
Isn't that the point? I mean...
Our driver was doing this.
Oh, lovely.
While texting.
Oh, jeez.
Also, we passed a moped that had a man in the front, a woman in the back, and a goat in between them. The woman had her arm around the goat, holding it in place, but the goat was sitting, just like the people. Funniest thing I've ever seen. The goat had to be terrified. Well, I don't know. Not if it was just
he's
sitting.
Used to it. And if his mother was holding on to him, why should he worry?
Well, what's funny is sometimes you see, I haven't personally seen it because I haven't been in countries in Asia, but I've seen pictures of someone on a moped.
Africa's not in Asia.
And then the whole damn family. I mean, it's like, there's a mother, they got a kid hanging off the back, there's another kid in the front. Yeah. And that is their means of transport, and
it's like
so
when you
fit
said the first
people
thing
in.
I thought of was subway, the trains, sort of the commuter trains in India. And when they come into the station, I mean, not only was people are hanging off the top. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's not exactly,
safe.
Well, in fact, when you hear of ferries capsizing, trains derailing, it's invariably India, Bangladesh, right? There's certain countries where it's just known that this is what happens. Don't get on it.
Upkeep of these trains aren't
and lack of government regulations too. Safety.
Yeah. Well, that just happened in Chicago where the L train went up the staircase.
I've been on that train. I've been on that train. Wow, it just went, can you imagine? It barreled right.
And the woman admitted she fell asleep.
Yeah, but there were all these safeguard measures that didn't kick in.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that.
Although I suppose
and nobody got really hurt.
If you're going at a certain speed,
they don't barrel into that.
Oh,
but
she was going.
Yeah, she was. I guess
because
she hadn't.
Because that's what it is. She sort of jumped the bumper thing they usually have and started going up the escalator.
It went onto the walkway and up the. It was 3 a.m. Thank God, and it started up the escalator.
It's good service. I'll go to the
door to door.
Please. Yeah, right. Exactly.
We could have made it to the tarmac, but
I think they could have filled it with animals from the Copenhagen Zoo and just killed them all.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Oh, it's interesting. Here's a sort of weird segue about animals and killing. There's all this to do about because this film is opening, I guess, nationwide. Maybe it's open across the world already, called Noah.
Yes.
With Russell Crowe. Who's in town, I think, making another movie.
Is Russell Crowe making a movie in town?
Yeah.
With Aaron Paul.
Oh, he's doing it with Aaron Paul. By the way, if you want to see one of the stars, she's got the hots for it. If you want it, they're all over. Shenley, they're like got all their stuff parked up at the golf course.
Oh, they're going to be in the north side this weekend.
And they were at Phipps, right off of Phipps yesterday. Oh. I ran right into one of the shoots.
Just,
Fathers and Daughters. It's called
Okay, Fathers and Daughters. It's Russell Crowe and Amanda Seyfried. Amanda, whose eyes are way too big and she looks scary as a result. What do you mean? Her eyes look at that. This
like an
actress.
Edward Keane painting.
No, she looks like a walking Edward Keane painting.
Great.
Scary. It's not natural looking.
No, she's from Allentown.
Is she? Oh, well, then it's all right. She's from Allentown, one of ours. Okay.
But to go back to what I was saying about Noah, and supposedly, I mean, if they've made it into this drama, and it's very funny because even in the advertisements, there's a line saying, although this does not follow the dictates of the Bible exactly, we believe that, blah, 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 blah. It shows God's, what shows an idea, what have you. But it's interesting that in many places it's been prohibited from being shown because I guess in Islam, Noah is considered one of the prophets, and you're not supposed to depict a prophet. So that's...
So much for that. I wonder if they thought about that, because so much of the money that Hollywood makes is on international
well, that's it, right?
Sales.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah.
Did they realize that they wouldn't, the Muslim world, they wouldn't be able to see it?
Something about someone. I was talking to a friend. Do you know this actor he's made it big? David Conrad.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's very funny. And I was through our mutual friend, and I said, since that movie, whatever it was, that he was in Ghost Whisperers, and he said, whenever David wants to feel good, he goes to Mexico or Spain, or what was the other country? Maybe Egypt, and there he's a star.
Oh, he's a big star there.
Residuals, reruns.
Well, I wouldn't call David Conrad a big star.
Well, not a big star. He's not Gwyneth Paltrow, but I mean, he's been in.
He's been in movies and TV, and he's a nice man,
and very
very in love with Pittsburgh, and very, very articulate.
Yes.
He's written some op-ed pieces that are just brilliant, and I mean he's something. He's got looks, he's got brains, he's got a conscience. He's really pretty damn, and he's easygoing.
Yeah.
Because when you do bump into him, he doesn't have any of the crap going on. I know. So. Here's somebody on Amanda Seyfried. Thank you. Amanda Big Eyes Seyfried. And she's, now, if you see a blonde woman anywhere in town, doe-eyed doesn't begin to do it.
Really?
You know there's these strange little critters that hang on trees in maybe the Amazon River Basin, and all they look like is eyes. They just got these two huge eyes. I don't know what kind of animal that is, but that's what Amanda Seyfried looks like.
She was in Mean Girls. Have you seen Mean Girls?
No, she was.
Incredible Red Riding Hood movie.
She was in the Incredible Red Riding Hood.
Body, which was not great.
She's. I don't know if she's that, but I definitely know her because she's so odd looking. No. I think she is so bizarre
looking.
Not
in my top 10.
No. Hey, we got to take a break. And we apologize for the general lack of, meat? Well, we've had meat. We've had lion meat, giraffe meat. Just sort of...
And we've had those stupid eagles.
That's...
Stupid?
Substance. Lack of substance, perhaps, in today's programming.
We're just... ebbing and flowing.
That's correct. I do have two other pieces of little news that I do want to bring up, but we must get a break out of the way.
Let's pause.
More is on the way with Lynn Cullen Live.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Download the brand new CP Haps app and find out what's going on in Pittsburgh. It's the fun and free app that puts the most popular events at your fingertips. Text events to 77948 to download now and register to win a GoPro camera. Plus lots of great free stuff every week. The CP Haps app, brought to you by Pittsburgh City Paper.
Now it's back to Lynn Cullen Live at pghcitypaper.com.
Okay, we've decided the animal I'm thinking about is a lemur.
Yes.
Yes, and Amanda Seyfried
resembles
a lemur. Okay.
But can she hang by her tail?
Okay, two page one stories in the local paper that I want to just wing by you. This is so depressing, I can't believe it. The deadline for somebody to step up and buy the August Wilson Center is a week away, less than a week away. There's nobody coming forward.
It's because,
what is going to happen? You can't have that building.
No, you know what it is?
I mean,
the thing that's really annoying to me about it, I mean, yes, it was a bad decision, and let's not go into that. But
what was a bad decision?
Well,
to build it?
Yes. It was a terrible decision to build it because there was never either the constituency of attendees nor a constituency of donors. And I actually said to one of the funders, when they were saying, 3-4 years into it, oh, we're not going to put more money into it. And I said, it's your fault that it's built. You knew immediately, even before at its inception, that there was not the constituent audience other than foundation money that was going to match. There just wasn't, and there won't be. So let's just get.
Well, some people have said that though they just didn't understand how to program it, so that wasn't it.
It was a guilt because I remember I and a number of other people at times said, "Why don't you do things?" Because this was like the time we had just done the Without Sanctuary show, the Carnegie Museum of Art had gotten and was doing the Teenie Harris archive and then eventually show. And why don't you put together a fund, the August Wilson Fund, call it what you will, and then approach every cultural or historical institution in the area and say, oh, we'll co-organize this with you, that with you, so there'll be a presence, because all those other organizations had the wherewithal and the constituency support groups. And all of a sudden this thing is built, and then no one goes there, no one gives money there. It's a disgrace. And the thing that, to me, and I really am angry about this, is that everyone is afraid to touch it and say, oh, burn it down because, oh, you can't. Well, it's a fucking mess.
Well, because it's a glorious, it's got so, you don't think
it's not a glorious building.
You don't think it is?
It's all hallways and reception areas. The auditorium's very nice.
The auditorium is lovely.
But the rest of it's like a shithole.
Oh, come on!
It is. It is.
You don't think the gallery
galleries
space?
Are all there next to the bathrooms. You go look where the Teenie Harrises are hung. They're hung like in the hallways and the bathrooms. And the main gallery has never been finished, so they don't really have exhibitions that people come to. No, it's an unmitigated disaster. It never should have been built, and it should not be resuscitated. To hell with it.
Jeez. Well, are you for tearing it down?
Well, maybe if the
how is it
better.
How do you repurpose that place and save like that auditorium? Oh man. All right. Well, that's depressing. Hey, PJ has sent us a picture. This is the animal I was thinking of. That's not a lemur.
It's a taser.
A tasier.
Taser, yeah. But that's what you were thinking of?
Here, Jess. This is exactly the animal I was thinking of.
Is that her?
Oh my God. No! That is an ugly animal.
Well, it's got eyes that overwhelm its face, and that's Amanda Seyfried too.
Well, it's because it's probably an animal.
Go ahead, put her face and that face next to each other on my Facebook page. She won't do it because and look at.
Well, it probably has those big eyes because it does most of its.
Its eyes are
and
it needs those eyes.
As much light
exactly right.
It's not that bad.
Oh, there, Amanda. Let's see.
Okay, there's Amanda.
Her eyes don't look that big.
They don't in that picture. All right, I'll cease and desist.
After you've maligned that poor woman.
I want to hear it from my alma mater. That'd be Northwestern University.
Yes.
And its football team.
Oh, yes, that was interesting, I thought.
It's fantastic. So these...
they probably won't stand, though, I bet.
Probably not, but they've gotten something rolling here that I think is going to have to be dealt with by the powers that be.
Yeah.
And so...
before you breathe, and it could be the kind of oomph that unions need today, because it will open their
whatever. I mean,
to a whole cadre of
the support
sports.
and money behind behind Northwestern's players is right downtown here in Pittsburgh. It is the United Steel Workers Union.
Oh, really?
Yep. And they are headquartered.
And why is that?
Right here. Well, because the Steel Workers Union, because there aren't as many steel workers, has been
I thought
reinvented
you meant
itself.
when you said
no.
money, I thought you mean for this initiative.
Yeah, that's the union muscle behind them. And this is a result of their former quarterback. He's now graduated, a guy named Kane Coulter, who is so well-spoken and just incredible. And they maintain that essentially they were employees of Northwestern, but were given no remuneration and no that they made money. They created a product for the university. University made millions of dollars off it.
We know that in most universities, the coaches, like what was that old jerk? Paterno, they make more than the presidents do. That
no, they always
give
do.
Money.
No, the coaches are always the highest paid, without a doubt.
And the alumni give more money to like sports arenas and the whatever than they give to the German club.
Well, sure. So anyway, they got enough of the players to sign letters saying they wanted to unionize.
Right.
And you take that kind of a petition before the National Labor Relations Board, which Northwestern did, and they got their first response from the regional office there in Illinois, and it was the following. Players receiving scholarships to perform football-related services for the employer under a contract for hire in return for compensation are subject to the employer's control and are therefore employees within the meaning of the National Labor Relations Act. Consequently, the fact that they are now judged to be not just, what do the universities want to call them, student athletes. And the NLRB is saying, no, they're employees by every measure.
Well, and in some cases, it's not just tuition and room and board. They get cars and.
That's against the law.
I'll give you $1 for every.
Well, but the fact is, what they're supposed to get is an education.
Yeah, well,
and all too often they don't. And what they're saying is that and this is again from the opinion. The time commitment that the football players make to the football greatly outweighs the amount of time they spend in classes or in study.
And they will miss courses, weeks of that while they're out on the...
Hi, caller.
Hi, guys. So are you heralding this as a good thing?
Yes.
Yes.
I couldn't disagree with you more. You said that they're supposed to be there. They're there for an education. They're there as a college. It's a college.
Well, ideally, you're absolutely right. But
ideally, you might as well just give them a league of their own and take the college out of it and get rid of all, falsehoods that it has anything to do with academics.
Well, right. Well, and in some of these instances, these kids go through on D averages. Their majors are home economics. I mean, it's disgraceful.
See, but Northwestern is different in that Northwestern is a bona fide academic institution, and its players are not just ringers. And they have something like 98% graduation rate for their athletes. But the thing is, and one of the quarterback who brought who started this said that he was unable to afford to go to Northwestern without this scholarship that required him to also play football, and that the university steered him away from the kinds of classes he wanted to take because he wanted to do pre-med. He wanted to be a doctor. And they told him there's no way you can take that kind of course load and do what we're giving you the scholarship to do.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, I just think this is putting a good face on something that is awful. And that is athletics, college and professional, and even high school and grade school.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
To the degree anymore. They just need to be separated.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely and totally separated.
Well, that ain't going to happen because...
So this kid, wasn't able to do the medical school. So he's, let's say, home economics. And then he goes on, and maybe he plays for a year in the professionals, and then they send him to the farm leagues because he'll do well. And then he breaks his femur bone, and he never plays again. And he
doesn't have the doesn't have the education.
So it's totally the university has gotten what it wants, which is like. It's made its disgusting alumni beer-swilling jerks happy.
Yeah.
And this poor kid is at the age of 26 is washed up.
Right.
Well, and I did hear one suggestion that does point to what Tom is saying, and it was one of the few suggestions that I could get behind, and that is that they have an indefinite amount of time that they can go back to school and complete their education.
Well, that's
and move on and have graduate school paid for also.
Well, that's good. It realizes that they have time away for these training and games in Tuscaloosa and whatever.
And that's the only way that you're going to convince me that it has anything to do with academics. It's all just a money-making guys. And yes, they should get their fair share. But I'll tell you what, if I was someone that was in college right now and I was working my butt off to pay my bills and to toe the line academically, and I saw all this going on, I would be furious. Absolutely furious if I was a scholar and was trying.
That's right, because you'd probably be working, 20 hours a week with a hairnet on, serving, mac and cheese to people in a cafeteria.
Well, these guys are putting their health, their safety on the line. They're working as much as 40 to 60 hours a week under complete control of their coaches.
Sure, they deserve rights. They just don't deserve it under the guise of academics.
This is indentured servitude. It's an outrage, and something does need to change.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys.
See ya. Bye. Now you tell me, You tell me. By the way, both eagles are in the nest right now, so you'll
preening one another.
Yeah, you'll see probably a changing of the guard here as one takes over and the other one flies off. But there's a lot more going on now. And it's funny because on the TV they're brought down to a size that they're not. They're huge.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating. They marry for life.
That's good.
Yeah.
They don't have prenuptials either.
No. Okay, wait a minute.
You're a good bunny ripper. That's why I marry you.
Okay, hang on. We've got some.
What is their life expectancy? Do you know?
30-some years, I believe.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, she's growing up in Allentown. We do know that. Hooray for Tom is the subject line.
Oh, good.
From Ray. Tom is right. That building is ugly as sin. August Wilson? I don't think so. It's also in a horrible underuse of a downtown footprint. It also is a horrible underuse. Tom has the courage to tell the truth.
Da, 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 da.
If only the powers that be had the same courage to admit a mistake and back up and knock it down. It just went up 5 years.
Well,
I watched it go up.
But look what they're doing in New York.
I know.
To the Museum of Modern Art.
What
the
waste.
Folk Art Museum. Well, it is a waste.
What unbelievable waste. I also chuckled at the juxtaposition when you casually accepted the natural violence of an eagle tearing apart a bunny. I know where you're going with this. But expressed amazement at euthanizing a lion.
Oh, Ray, you're great. You go right for the jugular, as you should.
We love you.
I when I can.
We love you too, Ray. He loves us.
Good.
He really loves us. All right.
Oh, God. Who was the one who said that?
Sally Fields.
Sally Fields, that's right. Who's now 180 or something.
Well, she's getting on.
She's got to be in her 70s, I bet.
She did that when she won the Academy Award for Norma Ray, which was about union organizing.
Right, yeah. But
and by the way,
wasn't she the flying nun? Yeah, she was the flying nun, wasn't she?
Oh, spill coffee. You gonna be okay? Yeah, just run, do something. I don't have anything
spill
to
it on
help
the rug,
you.
it'll wash out.
Here, okay.
Oh,
and I have.
I peed myself.
Oh dear.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my God! There goes Jess. I guess
Wait,
we got.
no, it's 11.
No, go ahead. Go. We'll just go up. Jeez. All right, we've lost our producer. Now.
So now we're going to tell you the real truth.
So here's maybe an exchange going on. See now, okay, whatever. But here's what I want to tell you about Norma Ray.
Yes, Norma Ray.
The producer of Norman Ray.
Norma Ray.
Ray.
You said Norman.
No, I
yes, you did.
Didn't.
Listeners, you said Norman.
Norma Ray.
Yes, Norma Ray, yes.
Was a friend.
Oh.
And went to high school at Green Bay East High School.
Oh, my. And milked cows after school.
And she always had a name I wanted, Alexandra Rose.
Oh,
Isn't that a beautiful name? Her father
very
was
aristocratic.
Her father was the head of the bank.
Oh, well, of course.
Alex Rose. And actually, I just saw her this year. She was up in Green Bay for her, as she said, do you believe this, 50th high school reunion?
Yeah, right.
She was ahead of me, by the way.
I see.
Yeah. And yeah, she's still beautiful. But she produced. Yeah,
this year would be my 50th grade school reunion. 1964.
You graduated from
grade school.
Grade school. What grade school going up to what year?
12th.
No, grade school 12.
Oh no, 8th grade. 8th grade.
Okay, 8th. Okay. Well, guys, I think that's it. Our producer has returned, so she will be able to...
She's drying everything off.
She will be able to stop this show, which probably should have been stopped about 45 minutes ago.
Right, exactly.
We will wish you all a happy, happy day.
And we hope the Eagles give birth.
They're hanging out because they know their babies are just about...
coming in.
They must be able to feel the movement inside the egg.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, they know. They're about... It's happening,
I wonder if the father eagle says push and breathe. Oh, no, this way they don't
She
have
already
to.
pushed.
That's right.
No, but I think today might be the day you're going to see one of those little characters...
and I bet there'll be some sort of stupid thing to name it.
No. Well, I'm telling you, the stupid commentary that is on the side in their chat room is so off-putting to me that I don't look at it.
Well, the interesting thing when you were saying before about the bunny business is that, it tells us that, in natural selection and all that, there's a grand, maybe even moral efficiency. And if it requires...
It's brutal.
Well, it's brutal by human standards.
It's brutal.
Now you're being sentimental.
It's brutal. All right, that's it for me. And I guess that's it, right? Is Potter? I'm sorry.
I don't know if he's here today. He's really sick. He went home early yesterday.
I'm going to kill him. He damn well better be really sick because otherwise he is dead. Dead to me.
Oh, goodness.
Get well, Chris. Get well.
Or she'll come after you with talons.
That's correct.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper, Steel City Media, and its advertisers.